Well, good afternoon. I am going to attempt to make my first video to show the process I use painting some of these very loose abstract flowers that I do. And I'm going to get started now. So what I'm doing here is I have another painting here I can't really show you. Let me get it. I can show you. Can you see this? So really what I want to do is I want to create a smaller one and frame it the same as that and hang them together as a set, more or less. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to drop in where I'm going to place like a sprig of flowers coming this way. I'm going to start up in here. And I'm going to grab, this is a very loose wash of, I believe this is quinacridone violet. Let me double check. Yes, it is. Quinacridone violet. I'm going to put that down as my first layer, loosely, very loose. Dragging it up there, just putting in like a sprig. I don't really know what these flowers are called. It's really not anything. It's just what I call them. Just something that I've made up, and I like it. Put another one this way. To work relatively quickly when you're doing this, so it's best not to do too many at once. Okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to loosen the edges up a little bit, just using this is a 12 round. Get a lot of, this is actually by Craftimo. I get a lot of nice control with this particular brush. It's easy for me. I don't know. I have older hands. I have some arthritis, so I try to use things that work for me. Going to lay down a little bit of toilet paper just to pick some of it up, I think, right here. I do that. I use the toilet paper. That's a tip I learned from Deborah Lynn. Now I'm going to go in. I'm going to drop in a little bit more color. Back in here, start letting it bleed a little bit. Don't forget up in here. Let the color bleed. Hope it doesn't dry too quickly. I have a fan on in here because it's very muggy here in the East Coast. Really hot and muggy, and it's just outside of my garden, and you can hear that there's storms on the rise out there. Probably just make it a little bit more muggy. So you see I dropped that in. I'm going to help it a little bit, move it along. The brush splay a little bit, get those shapes in there, bring it up. See how I'm just dragging it out there? You can see it starting to take form. I'm going to go in and I'm going to drop in a little of this. This is Purple Lake. Yeah, I love this color. I'm actually out of it and I need to get some more. I love this color. This color just makes me so happy, and I'm just dropping it in where I dropped in the quinacridone violet, just to give it a little color and depth. I'm going to go back and do the same thing, kind of work it in, put some over here. I'm just pulling it right out of, I have a little puddle in the well here that I'm just, I don't know, I love this palette here because it can, I'm able to just mix right in there, and I kind of like that. I don't know, I'm a sloppy painter. Okay. I'm gonna go back in, start to, I don't want to overwork these. Go back in, mush them around a little bit. So you can see they're doing their thing. They're spreading, which is what we want. We want them to spread. I'm gonna work on this one here a little bit. Just opening it up. Right? Look at how pretty that looks already. You can almost see where we're gonna have our stems are gonna flow this way. Like that. So it's gonna be a bouquet lying on its side, which will look very nicely with the other. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to drop in a little bit of this Indotone blue, which I love, just a tiny bit, because that's what I have in the other one. Just a little bit of that. And look at how gorgeous those colors are. I love this color. Absolutely love these. I don't know, I'm a Pisces, so purple's my thing. I never really wear it, but I do love it in florals, and my garden is full of various purple flowers. It's definitely my favorite. Put a little bit right here. Let that spread a little bit. Now, while this is sitting a little bit, I'm gonna go back in and going to start to put in some stems. So I'm going into my favorite sap green. I should really clean this up a little bit. I just finished something being very sloppy over here. Let's get this out of here. Okay. So I'm going to mix up some sap green with a little perline green. And I'm going to very lightly go in, very light, and put the stems down. So I think I'm going to go here, here, and there. Now you can see it's bleeding in here. That's okay. Kind of cool. Let that chill. Go back in. Let's see, what should we drop in? Maybe a touch more of this very dark blue. Trying to just pick it up very thickly. Ooh, and if your hair gets in there, just get it out. Mine just is a mess today, my hair. It's very humid. Thank goodness I'm having it done Wednesday, because I've been in the pool a lot, and it's, thank goodness it's saltwater pool. Otherwise it would be a complete disaster. Now I'm also going to go in, I'm going to drop in Permanent Violet. This is a Paul Rubens. I mix up my paints. Many of them, well, they're either Winsor Newton Professional, Daniel Smith Professional, or Paul Rubens Professional. When I started painting, when I first started watercolor, of course I was using student grade paper and paints. But I am an artist. I've been painting pretty much my entire life. And I quickly moved up to good paper. I'm on Arches, which I absolutely love. This is a 9x12. and I bought my brushes. I quickly moved into really good brushes because it's very important to have really good brushes. See what I'm doing? I'm dropping this purple in around just to give it some interest there. This one's bleeding a lot. It's very wet. We'll fix it. It's okay. So I do like the Paula Rubens. I love Daniel Smith. I bought the Paula Rubens in these cakes like this, which I really like. They're great to carry, but I haven't decided if I like the tubes better. So I also have this palette, which I absolutely love. And this is where I just put in the tubes of paint and it closes up nicely, and I take it with me whenever I go out, and you know, sometimes I'm babysitting my grandchildren, so I'll take them there with me and I'll paint. They love to paint with their grandmother. It's really cute, especially my littlest one. He's 7. He loves to sit down and he loves to color and draw and paint with his Gigi. That's me. So it's something that we do together. During the winter, the colder months, I often sat with him on FaceTime in the evening while I was painting, and we would just position the phone so that we can see each other, and we would spend a good hour and a half on FaceTime just coloring. And he really enjoyed that, and it really helped us bond. Totally. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Not crazy about that. So I may go in there and loosen it up a little bit. I'm actually going to go back to my Princeton Round Velvet Touch. This is a size 8, and I'll kind of go in there like that. I just don't want these puddles, and that's what can happen. So you see they're happening. So that's not going to work. Back in like this and try to dump the paint in there again. If it's wet, you can easily go back and drop paint in. It's when it dries there's a problem. So let's let that sit a little bit. I'm going to go in and work on some of the leaves. I'm going to put long branches of leaves. I want to do a lot of wet on wet here. Have you noticed I haven't gone in and I have not put the stems through the flowers yet? I don't really want them to bleed. That's something that I will go back and do at the end of my painting. But for now, I'm going to go in and I'm going to drop a little bit of water in here like this. And I'll drop some paint in there. Get a little more paint. And I'm just going to go in. And you can see what it does. How gorgeous is that? See what it does? I'll spray it. Get it wet. Let it jump around. I'm going to add a little bit of the perylene. And then I'm going to take my quill. And I'll drop some water in here and kind of work this in. I want it to be wet. I don't necessarily want the whole thing to be green, but just parts of it. Gonna move it around with the quill. Just like that. And as I do this, I will then go back and I will continue to drop in some of the perylene green. And see what it does? It just activates and it spreads and it bleeds, and then I go back in and I move it along with the quill. Move it along so it looks really pretty. Get back in here, mush them up a little bit. Take your quill. I'll go in there and I'll lift that up into there after, towards the end of our painting. I'll do that. I want these to fade more or less. See that? I want them to fade. Don't want hard edges. Try to avoid the hard edges. Keep it soft around here. I'd love to add this color as well. I'm going to put in, this is Permanent Green Light from Paul Rubens. I love the way it plays off of the Perlene Green. It looks super pretty. And don't worry about that, because once this is more or less dried, I'm going to go in and smudge it up a little bit. That's a good tip. It's a good trick. Keep spreading this around very lightly. I'm very light here. Very light. Take a little bit more of the Perlene Green. Keep adding it in. Smush it around like that. Even going to drop in a little bit of this. This is Turquoise Light. I just love the way this plays off a little bit to these colors. So I'm going to put in a little bit like that. And then I'm going to mush it around. See? Just like that. Gives it a lot of interest. Keep mushing it lightly. Like that. Okay. Now we're going to come back. I'm going to use this little detail brush, and I'm going to go back into the Perlene Green. I'm going to drop some grasses in, and they're going to spread because this is very wet. So these are going to spread. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to connect these. So I'm going back into my sap green. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the Perlene. And I'm going to just drop in these fine little stems, just so that they look somewhat connected. And don't be afraid to put them into the front either. That's fine. Just want them to be more or less connected. Go back here, drop it in. I love this little brush. This is by, I don't know, Fumi Extended Point 4. It's sable. The body of it is sable. The tip of it is, no, the body's sable. The tip is synthetic. It's really nice. It makes these really great squiggles that I love. I love this kind of stuff. We have to go back in and we're going to dot the center of our flowers. But I'm going to go back and look. See what we have. Let's clean that. Now what I'm going to do is actually going to take a few of these. I'm going to put this. This is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, which I love. This is a product that one of my tutors introduced me to, Deborah Lynn, and this stuff is fantastic. So you could just go in and you add a little bit here, and it just picks up the color from what's underneath it, and it just brings it to life. Look at this. Watch this. A little bit more there. A little bit more. Just brings it just, how gorgeous is that? That's how I do these, guys. This is, see what it's doing? It's a little bit much. Put some here. Get some toilet paper. I'll pick some of that up. I don't like that necessarily. It's a little heavy. I'm gonna pick it up. Toilet paper is great. Okay, a little bit like that. Add a little bit more right up there. Spread it out. Like that. Okay. We're going to go and drop in drop in some splatters here of this. This is the quinacridone violet. Splatter it away. It's going to do its thing. Let's go back in and we're going to drop in a little cadmium yellow. We're going to put in a couple of centers. I like to have little centers on my flowers. Not everybody does, but I do. And you know, not everything is facing the front, so you could have one there. It definitely helps give an indication of the flower, where it's positioned. They all don't need it. Put that there. Here. Let's see, how about there? Right there. I'm gonna put something in up in here. Right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Coming to life, guys. It's coming to life. Yeah, looks good. I'll let this dry a little bit because I want to kind of, you'll see, I'm going to take my flat brush and I'm going to just scoosh this around a little bit, but I want it to set up a little bit more. You could do it here. Just take this and kind of do like that. Right? See that? See what I'm doing? Just taking my flat brush. It's damp. And I'm just coming in between and I'm just kind of softening things up a little bit. I don't want to do everywhere because it's nice to have your white space. Gotta have white space. The eye needs some place to look around and focus. Now I'm going to go back in. And I'm going to splatter with the Perylene Green, which is something that I really love. Put some there, there, there. Look at that. Up on top. Bring the eye around. Probably going to touch up my stems. I'm going to add a little bit of brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this purple I'm using this green right here. I'm going to take this green. I'm going to add a tiny bit of the purple to it because the stems usually have a little bit of color in them. They do. Go back in. Darken them up. Add a few more sprigs and stems. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let's go in. I'm gonna see if I could loosen this a little bit in here. Just play with it. Go in, and if you need to loosen things up, by all means, loosen them up. You can add squiggles, a couple of more. They're like sticks and grasses. Not too many, but it's nice to have them in there. You see what it does? Just breaks it down. It makes it realistic. And there we go. And that's it. That's pretty much done. Let it all dry, and then don't forget to sign your piece. I tend to sign down here, but you can sign, that's a good place to sign, or even like right here. And that little white space would be a really good place to sign. So thank you for watching, and let me see, wait, I'm gonna put a little thing right here. I'm enjoying this demonstration. You know, you could sit here and say, oh, I'm not done yet. Very simple to do. Go back and look at different things that maybe you want to adjust. Brighter color, you see. I like things that are very loose. I paint loose. I like very organic. Even my garden, my vegetable garden is very organic looking. It's not super neat and clean. I don't like that. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm not going to do any more. I don't want to overdo it. I hope you enjoyed this, and you'll come back another time and visit. Thank you.